Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Destroy Duchenne podcast. My name is Stacy. I'm the founder of the nonprofit organization Destroy Duchenne and the host of the Destroy Duchenne podcast. Today, we have with us a special guest, Brett, who, I'll go ahead and let him introduce himself. What's up, Brett?
Hey, my name is Brett, and I'm just excited to be on the podcast, talk about Duchenne, the sport of power soccer that I play.
Yep. We're gonna get in all of that. So Brett, before we talk about the disease and power soccer, let's just start with the basics, right? So, how old are you? Where are you from?
I'm 19. I'm from Menominee, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Okay.
Yep.
Nice. So, from Wisconsin. And so, like, what are some things about yourself that you like to do? Do you have any hobbies, any passions? I know what they are, but
Well,
I'm gonna tell the audience.
I did hit on it. Well, power soccer is like one of my biggest passions, and
Mm-hmm.
I like playing video games like any other 19-year-old. And yeah,
How about sports?
yeah, I'm a big sports fan. The Wisconsin Badgers is one of my favorite teams. The football team is mainly what I like to watch. And
Football guy?
also, this doesn't make sense, but I'm a Minnesota Viking fan. And yeah, being in Wisconsin, I get a lot of crap for being a Viking fan. So,
It's funny. What so like let's touch on that. So why are you a Vikings fan if you're in Wisconsin?
well, I'm kind of named after Brett Favre. So, when
Mm,
he kind of moved to Minnesota, it was like, I kind of moved there and now I'm stuck, I guess.
that's funny. I didn't know that. That's so you're named after the quarterback, right? Brett Favre? That's
Yep.
interesting. That's cool. That's a cool way to get your name. Okay. How about like TV shows, movies, books?
Well, I'm kind of into like Disney movies, mainly like the Marvel and Star Wars are
Hmm.
the movies I like the best. And I would say Guardians of the Galaxy from the Marvel movies is one of my favorites, I would say.
Do you have a
And,
favorite superhero?
mm, I would say Iron Man.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Iron Man's my favorite superhero too. Tony Stark all day. Love it. Um,
And
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
my favorite TV show, and it doesn't air anymore, but it was Gotham.
Mm,
Kind of went over like the start of like Bruce Wayne becoming Batman stuff. It was really intriguing to watch.
mm. So you're really into like superheroes and like action
Yeah.
packed types. Yeah, me too. I really like that stuff too. I don't know. It's always keeps your attention, right? So
Hmm.
that's what I like to watch too. If I watch movies or whatever. How about music? What kind of music you listen to?
Well, I like country, but I can really listen to like any kind of music, but probably not rap, but any other music I'll listen to. Like some days when I'm feeling smooth, I'll listen to reggae or something like that.
Reggae.
Someday when I was feeling fancy, I listened to opera. So I'm kind of listen to whatever I feel like. So
I like that. It just kind of depends
yeah.
on it, but sounds like you have a wide range of music taste, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Um, okay, so like a lot of people they like to do. So a lot of people that I'm noticing with Dishin, they like to do stuff with art, right? They're really creative. I find that really fascinating. Like literally every person I've interviewed so far has something to like in some type of way, whether it's photography, whether it's like graphic design, whether it's literally doing clay, like my little brother Kai. Um, there's something with art. Uh, what is your? I know there's something with art with you. I know that you. I mean, we were talking that you wanted to get into graphic design.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. We are interested in doing that.
Well, kind of in high school, it sparked my interest because I took a few like publishing design classes and I really loved it. And I still don't know like where I'm going for like schooling with it, but I hope to do something with it because
Mm-hmm.
I really feel passionate about just designing things and using different fonts and stuff is really fun.
Two questions. So, what was high school like for you? And then we'll get into the second question. But how was your high school experience?
Well, I had a pair that helped me like with whatever I needed, like writing or yeah, he would like write stuff for me that I would tell him what to write, kind of like I don't know exact word, but he'd help me out that way. And well, I didn't have that many friends. I was kind of on my own sometimes. Well, my main friend was the pair that I had, which was kind of nice, but sometimes I would feel like invisible, like they would talk to the pair more than me. And it's like, I don't know, but
You said talk to the what?
like para educator who would like
Oh,
help with whatever I needed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're
It
talking
was
about.
like a one-on-one with
Like
me.
an aid type of
Yeah,
thing.
an aide.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, but continue. I'd like to hear that more.
Well, I did have some friends, but I mean, high school is all right, but I didn't really like it as much as middle school. Like for some reason, like when I was in middle school, I could walk around, have my scooter, and I feel like more people would want to be around me then for some reason. Like when I went in high school, I was kind of went into the wheelchair and couldn't really walk. And I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but a lot of people in my class weren't that friendly, but I still made do with what I had. I had a few friends. High school is all right, I guess, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I hope it would not be because of the wheelchair. Because if it is, they're missing out. I mean, really, that's just so
yeah.
surface level thinking by definition. I mean, if you're really going to go, hey, you're in a wheelchair, let's not be friends. What does that say about you? I mean, like that is so.
It's what's inside, not like what's outside. Like, I mean, I don't look at you or anybody else as being a person in a wheelchair. I look at you being person because of your personality and
Exactly.
how you want to like cure your own disease, and like I like that about you. That's why I like you. It's not judging you by a wheelchair or anything. It's like
Exactly. You know, it's kind of like, dude, like, hey, Brett, do you like sports? Yeah. Oh, I like sports too. What do you like? Football? Oh, me too.
yeah,
My dad's a football coach. Oh, okay, now we have something to relate. You know, like why? You know, the wheelchair doesn't really matter at that point, right? It's like
yeah,
same interests, same values. That's what makes a friendship. Not can you walk, not walk, or what you look like, right? That's just so surface level, so
right.
boring. And honestly, it hurts. It hurts everybody because you miss out on opportunities for great friendships.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yeah, okay. We'll touch more back on that later on. I wanted to ask you the second part is as of right now, and it's okay if you don't, but you got any career interests, any things that you want to do for a career? I mean, you're talking about graphic design. I don't know if you want to try and maybe do that for a career, maybe work, in that or.
Well, I would love to do that as a career, but I don't really know exactly. Like a thing with like a job, and I worry about like like typing on a computer is hard for me and my arm strength and stuff. I worry about that, but I guess there's something if I needed to work, I could like be like a telemarketer. Well, not exactly a telemarketer, but like what is that called? Like person that like helps you on the phone, walks you through stuff.
Oh, like a secretary type of or like a IT, like yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
kind of like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can do that because you're pretty much using your voice, which I can use.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean there's equipment and stuff that can help you too that would
Yeah,
just
I
still
know like there's voice text and stuff like that. Like, yeah, that would help with like a job too. If I had to like write something, type something, yeah.
hmm yeah, 100% man, 100%. I just stay ambitious and don't let the disease hold you back. That's what I would say
Yeah,
to you.
exactly.
You could still do whatever. I really believe that. Might have to do it differently. Still gonna do it though. We still going through. We still going through. All right. So really important question. Very serious question. Okay, super important. Okay, what is your favorite food? We have to know that.
Well, I have to say I'm an expensive eater, unfortunately. I like lobster and
Mm.
seafood, salmon. Uh, I, I just love seafood. Like I eat it up fast. Like it's crazy.
So if you want to go on a good date, hit up my man Brett because you're gonna get some good food. Oh, I like that. I like that lobster.
It's not coming out my wallet though.
Oh, it's not coming out of your wallet though. Okay, you gotta pay first. You gotta pay first.
Oh,
um. Okay, so seafood. Any other types of food or desserts or anything?
well, I could go for glazers from Quick Trip any day.
I'm not familiar with that. What's that?
Well, it's a type of gas station. It's kind of like a grocery store.
Mm.
And they have like really awesome donuts that they sell there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a Wisconsin thing then I'm assuming because we don't got that in California as far as I know.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's Wisconsin thing.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And we covered a lot of the, get to know you stuff. Um yeah, so I guess let's talk about your greatest. Well, no, actually no, hold on. I want to continue on the art because I do remember. So you like to do something with art. All right, I want to see if I can get it out of you. I know what it is, but I don't want to say it for you. Um
Well, I do like building with
ah,
Legos. That's kind of like something that I love to do, but yeah.
he's being humble. Okay, the things he does with Legos is remarkable. Okay, it's not just your little, 4-piece. No. This is like he has built like the Star Wars Death Star. Right? You built.
It was the Millennium Falcon, but
No, I swear I saw Death Star
I
too.
would love to build the Death Star though.
You haven't, or you have?
I don't have it, but I would love to build it.
Okay, we got to get you to do that one day. But I don't know. You know what we gotta do? You should build like the DD logo with the. Oh, that'd be so cool out of Legos. Um,
I'll think about it.
that'd be really cool.
That would be awesome though.
But Brett does things with Legos that are, I mean, this are how long does it take you to do that? Like, I'm actually curious. How long does it take you to build
Sometimes it
something?
can take a week to 2 weeks, depending on how big the set is.
Hmm. So something like the Falcon, right? So like, what's your routine look like there? Do you like put on some music and just like lock in and go, or like what?
Yeah, I listen to music, yeah.
And then just build it?
Usually 80s rock or reggae and just start building away.
What do you find that like relaxing, therapeutic, maybe like?
It can be, but my arms and hands do get pretty tired, so I have to pace myself, which comes with the disease, but I still enjoy doing it. So that's the thing that matters. You got to find something that you have joy with so you're not feeling down or depressed because you have a disease that slowly slows your muscles. So got to find something you love.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a
Yeah.
great attitude. And that's great advice for not just people with Duchenne, but really people, really just everybody, I would say, find that purpose, find that thing that keeps you going, that keeps you excited to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Any pets?
I have a dog and a cat. My dog's name is Gizmo. He's a Shih Tzu Maltese. The name of the dog's like Teddy Bear, and he kind of looks like a teddy bear. And the cat's name is Vegas, but I spend more time with the dog Gizmo. So
Okay.
yeah,
Not a cat guy, or
not really.
he said not really. He doesn't care. Okay. I like that. Well, I mean, I like cats too. Well, actually, I don't know. Do I like cats? I've never had a cat, but from all the cats I've seen, I mean, they're cool, but like, I don't know. I played with a kitten once, right? And the kitten was so cute. You know, this
Yeah.
paws. It was like stabbing me. It's kind of funny. All right, let's get into the meat. Okay, let's get into the great passion of my man Brett, the competitor that Brett is. Let's talk about it. Let's go. You know what we're going to talk about now. Let's go. Introduce it. I'll let you take over.
Well, power soccer is a sport that originated in France with like this Fayed teacher that wanted to find something people in wheelchairs could do for Fayed, and he came up with like getting like a mount grate to like put on the front of a wheelchair, and it started by hitting not a basketball around. That's kind of how it started. Then it got to the US and like started to spread around. I think that was like in 1970s, I think. It kind of started in France and now it worked its way to the US, and now it's a pretty big sport for people with disabilities. And the sport is played with 4-on-4, four on each team, and it consists of a goalie on each team. And there's like a box, and like normal soccer has a box for the goalie, but there can be a second player to assist with the goalie because they can't use their arms because you're just driving the chair around with I forgot about the bumper. You have a bumper on the chair that you used to hit the ball and strike it and drive around with it. And getting into some of the other rules, there's a 2-on-1 rule that like widens the court out so we're not all mashed together like hitting and shoving. So like it has to be one player, 1-on-1, the opponent and a player on the ball. And if one of your teammates come in like I think it's 5 meters or something, if they come into the 5 meters, the ref will call a 2-on-1, which awards the ball to the opposing team or whoever didn't commit the penalty. And there's a lot to get at this sport. And also there's a 3-on-1 rule. 3 in the box, where only 2 players can be in the box, the goalie and the box player. And if a third player goes into the box,
Penalty.
it's called 3 in the box, and that's a penalty.
Okay, so that makes these set rules. It sounds like that makes it like hard to do. You know, I played, so a little about me, right? As I played one time, and I didn't have the right stuff. We like put some like protective thing on the front of my chair, and it was like basically my shins.
Well, let me
but-
get at something that has made the sport skyrocket. So there's this chair that they made. It was made by a power wheelchair athlete in the US. It's called the Strike Force, which sounds pretty sick.
It does.
And
Strike Force. That's dope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna name a branch of Destroy Duchenne Strike Force now. I don't know what, but we're gonna call something Strike Force.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna write that down. That's dope. Go ahead. Continue on.
So the chair is low to the ground because you're going really fast and you don't want it to flip, obviously, because that would be a bad day. And the chair is really reactive, like super reactive. Like one little tap of your joystick right now and move it pretty quick. So it takes a lot of work to get used to driving the chair, and it helps with like they don't, real soccer, they do like throw-ins on the sideline. We can't use our arms, so we do like, it's called a kick in, and the Strike Force has the strength to do like a 360 or a 180, like smack the ball super hard. And that's kind of the job that I do on my team, is to kick the ball. And corner kicks is obviously the same as like real soccer. We kick in the corner and try and score off. Yeah.
I got a question. Can anybody play this? Like, is it like, can you be completely healthy, I guess, not have any type of disability and still, because I mean, like, why can't you just get in the chair and do it? Like, do they allow that or no?
They don't. You have to be like in a wheelchair or like have
Regularly.
mobility problems because like why would you want to like play a wheelchair sport if you're not in a wheelchair? I know that
Sounds
sounds like
fun. I mean, it sounds fun. I mean,
I
I
know, but you know what I mean.
mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, I know
I
what you
would.
mean, but I think like I know my friends, right? Just thinking about them right now, they're crazy like that. Where they'd legit be like, "Yo, Elijah, can I get in a chair and play you?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, let's go. I'm
Well,
going to kick your butt, though. I am going to destroy you."
well, if you jumped in it right away and put on top speed, you would be like all over the place like that. You'd probably break your neck or something. It's the chair is crazy. Well, when I first got my chair, I used the GoFundMe page because I got to try it at one of my tournaments and I just fell in love because it's a sport I can play and like why not play it?
Mm.
Yeah.
So would you okay? So would you say that you're really competitive?
Yes.
Yes. Like, give us examples. I want to like I've heard the examples, but the audience needs to know how competitive Brett is because Brett is competitive. I mean, to say like
Well,
he's competitive.
sorry, but to finish what I was saying
Oh,
earlier,
my bad, my bad, my bad.
that no, I forgot what I was gonna say, but now I figured it out. So when I first got my chair, like I didn't have my seatbelt on, I didn't have the wheelie bars down, and I didn't have the bumper on yet. I turn the chair on, crank it up all the way, and I go drive it right away. The whole front end goes up. It was crazy. I could have fell out of it right
I
away.
would have been so
That's how
scared.
excited I was.
I would have been so scared. Oh my gosh, did you have a heart attack? I mean, geez.
I think my mom did.
Oh, that's funny. It's funny. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But competitiveness, right? Let's talk about your competitiveness, your mentality. I think it's fascinating.
Well, I just love the opportunity to like compete and like growing up I was always like super competitive and stuff. And no matter what I played, like board games or whatever, I would be mad if I lose and like I just want to win at everything I do. And
Yes.
that's
Yes.
kind of the mentality that I have. And when I first saw the sport, there was like a demo at my sister's high school basketball game where they came to show off the sport. And that's when I found it. I'm like, wow, I can go out here and show everybody how I can dominate and just be a beast out there. And
Yeah,
that's kind of how my
yes.
mentality is.
Yes. That's what I love.
Yeah.
I love that about you, bro. Like, yes, I like to compete. Yes, I want to be the best at everything. Yes, I want to dominate. Yes, I want to win everything. I don't want second place is the first person to lose. Okay, I want to
Yep.
be in first place every single time. Every time. Now, okay. So talking more about the competitiveness. Do you guys trash talk?
Well, sometimes I try to stay to myself, but if I score a goal and I drove it in person, I'll get in their face and say, that's how you score a goal and stuff like that. And like I say, let's go and get my team pumped up all the time. It's like it's just fun, like being out there competing, just being like a normal kid playing a sport. It's like
Yes.
it's the greatest feeling to play. Like my disability goes away when I'm out there getting in my soccer chair, warming up for a game or a tournament. It's just like it's the best thing in the world.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, no, I love the competitiveness. I really like that. And I like the trash talk, if you will. I mean, if I was playing, if I do play, I probably will play one day.
I hope so.
If you see me, just be ready because I will trash talk. If it's illegal and it's a penalty, I'm gonna whisper in your ear, bro. I'm going to trash talk in order. I'm gonna do everything I can in order to get an advantage over you.
I don't think it'll get in my head, to be honest.
I'll get in your head.
I don't think so.
Already getting competitive right now. I love it. Okay, okay. Any other words on that? on the power soccer?
Well, I mean, going to tournaments like nationals is like the best tournament. Like every year they hold nationals at Fort Wayne, Indiana to like see who's the best team in each league. And you see people that are like all kinds of abilities there. It's like no one cares that you have a disability. It's like you're an athlete. You're not a person in a wheelchair. And that's the best thing that comes out of this sport.
Yeah, you're just a person competing.
We're athletes competing, yeah.
Yeah, simple. It's simple. It makes sense.
Oh.
It makes so much sense. Okay, anything else on that or?
Well, I love nationals every year and I look forward to it. And it was kind of sad to find out that it was canceled due to this thing called coronavirus, and it made me upset because I have this one story where I was super competitive. I told you before. Like there was
Tell
this
the
one
audience though. Tell the audience though. I like the story.
there was one player that was super aggressive that would jump everything when I would kick or whatever. And he's kind of like the sport is kind of like dirty as like you hit and chip with like the chairs like metal you hear clicking all the time out there, and it's kind of sorry about that. It's kind of like rugby in a way, but it's not all piled up, but you're clinging each other with like the bumper sometimes. And heavy contact can get called, but in the US League, it doesn't get called all the time. And yeah. Well, so I'm off track. I'll get back to the story. And this guy was kind of like bumping me all the time, and I don't really like to get bumped around when I'm playing.
Mm.
And I had this one opportunity that I pulled I cut one way, and I cut the other way, and I got position on him, and I pushed him into the goal area. And after I scored that, he like slapped like kind of my wheel, kind of. That's a spot you shouldn't hit. I already scored the goal. And I was so competitive that I got in his face. I'm like, that's how you score a goal, right in his face like that. And the ref was watching me and he didn't even care. It was so much fun. But as I was driving away, he just kept blabbing his mouth at me. And I didn't even care what he was saying.
You don't let people get in your head. I see it. Okay,
Yeah.
I've seen it. You block out all the noise, right? You block out all the outside noise.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the competitive nature of this already, though. What else? Or would you say that that's kind of it for talking about that?
I think I hit on it.
You know? Okay. We can come back to it later if we want to.
Yeah.
But okay. So I guess let's pivot then. Let's talk about the disease specifically now, Duchenne. So how old were you when you first became aware that you had the disease?
Well, I was 5 years old at like a T-ball tournament. Like my parents noticed that like when I was running, it would look different than the other kids playing out there, and that's kind of when we went to get checked out to see what I had, and that's when we found out.
Okay. How about like in terms of like you understanding, okay, I have a disease and this is what the disease does. When did you?
I don't know exactly, but maybe 7 or 8. And I just remember like being aware that like my dad would always tell me like save your legs for the fun stuff, like going to a water park or stuff like that. So I wasn't wasting it on like going for a walk somewhere, stuff like that. And so that was kind of how I was aware of it, but I didn't know exactly what it was, but I just knew had something different.
Okay. Um, and how about going into a wheelchair? I know you said that middle school you were using a scooter, but When
Yeah.
did you go into a wheelchair, and how was that?
Well, it was in 8th grade that I started to get a wheelchair. And that was due to like we found out that I had back fractures, compression fractures in 8th grade, which made it harder for me to walk because I had constant back pain because of it. And so I kind of started to go towards a wheelchair then. And we kind of rushed on it, and the wheelchair didn't fit me when we got it, and caused more back pain because of that. And it was kind of a mess that happened in 8th grade stuff. Right now, I have a wheelchair that works good for me. So
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
yeah,
So it sounds like going into the wheelchair was kind of a how like the wheelchair didn't even work. So going into a wheelchair is already hard, but the wheelchair you got didn't even work, right?
right.
Okay. And how it's been in, like, I mean, you know, everyone takes this question differently, but how has been living in a wheelchair been for you? Like, what's your take on it?
I mean, it's all right, but I don't want to be in a wheelchair, obviously, but it's just what I got to deal with. And it's an obstacle that I have to deal with each day. And so I just got to be positive about not be sad that I'm in a wheelchair. So I can still do stuff. Like, I can play soccer and be competitive. And it's like, there's things that get your mind off of, like, being in a wheelchair, having a muscle disease. It's kind of like there's stuff you can do to not think about what you're dealing with and like kind of block that out. Like,
Hmm. Okay. I
yeah.
mean, that's a positive attitude. I like that. Um, okay. If you didn't have Duchenne, what do you think you'd be doing?
Well, I'd be competing like crazy. I'd probably be playing football because I'm a big football guy, and I would probably be quarterback, throwing the ball deep and scoring touchdowns, running around like Lamar Jackson, throwing it like Patty Mahomes. I would still have that competitive side even if I didn't have Duchenne. Like, it always upset me in high school that all my buddies were playing football and having fun doing that. I couldn't really do that. I was always dreaming that I would be the quarterback to lead my team, high school team, to a a championship, not national, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would just be doing whatever sports.
So you think you'd be playing football and
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I probably would have done the same. I grew up, my dad being a head football coach.
No.
So I grew up on the football field, five and whatever. But yeah, never got the opportunity to play, which sucks. But
Well, yeah. When I was younger, my dad was the high school football coach, so I kind of grew up with football in my veins too.
all right, we have a similar story. I didn't know that, so that's pretty
Yeah.
interesting detail. Um, what what about your arms, right? So we touched on that a little bit earlier, but how's that?
Mm, they're they bug me time to time. Just depends on the day, but my shoulder blades, like, that's where I have a lot of pain most of the time, and that kind of bugs me. But I can't really lift them above my head or shoulders that well. But I can use them to like reach out and grab stuff and obviously build Legos, but they are kind of weak, but I can still manage with them. They still work, but yeah.
Going on my oh my gosh. I need water. Uh my
You
bad.
all right?
Um hold on one second.
Okay.
Okay, my bad.
It's all right.
How does, so you mentioned the pain in your arms. That definitely, I feel that too, which is weird. It's like makes the disease actually painful. Like, it wasn't really painful for me
Yeah.
before, but when the arms are like that, you don't move them as much when they get
Yeah.
and they start to feel a certain way.
That's the part that
Hold on
people,
one second.
that's the part that gets kind of hard about the disease is that like the pain is like, why does it have to have pain? It's like, that's the frustrating part. It's like, well, it is muscles and they get sore because they're not really getting used and can't build the proper protein needs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's hard when it's dealing with pain. Like pain's a hard thing to deal with, and I usually deal with it on a daily basis, which is upsetting. But you gotta do stuff that makes you laugh and smile and feel joy, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 100%. What, like, how does lose? So this is a really personal question, but for me, I know my answer. But how does losing your arms make you feel?
Kind of frustrated because it kind of makes it hard to like build Legos, which I have joy with. And it's just frustrating that I wish I had more strength and then I get tired as fast. And like doing stuff like on a computer isn't easy, but I know there's tools that can help, but it's kind of frustrating to do like voice typing when you can just type it on the keyboard like a normal person. But since my arms get tired easy and hands, I can't really do that. So I guess it's just more frustration than anything.
Yeah, I think that's probably the word that I would use too. So it's pretty frustrating.
Yeah.
What? So, what do you think of when you hear about what Duchenne does? Like, is there anything about Duchenne that you're fearful about?
Well, not really, but I kind of fear like I don't know, like losing strength that I have because I'm used to the way that I do things each day. And like when you lose strength on something, it's harder to do a certain thing that you've done like all your life and just happens so slow. That's like it, well, it happens slow, but comes to you fast. Like I just lost this. And it's like, it's hard to do what you usually do. Like I used to like drawing, doing stuff like that, but it's hard to do now because it hurts my wrist and shoulder and like my whole right arm hurts because it's hard to like color stuff. Like I used to love coloring and now it's kind of hard to do. And like the horrible part about disease is that it takes stuff away, which is really frustrating about it.
Yeah, exactly. The disease takes things away. Ability to walk, ability to use your arms, um, everything, literally everything.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's why you gotta stay positive, not let that stuff get in your head.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. Do you have any like future, would you want to like start a family, get married, like move somewhere with any future plans or?
I don't really know right now, but maybe in the future, but I don't really know right now.
Okay, okay, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. Okay. So I'm just looking at my list, right? Um, what do you hate most? What do you hate most about Duchenne?
That takes like your strength away and like just takes away stuff that you enjoy doing. And sad thing is like when I play power soccer, it's hard on my right arm, which I drive with. My wrist, elbow, and shoulder hurt after I'm done playing. It's like it's real frustrating because that's number one thing that I love the most and like am passionate about. And I don't want to lose that because of the disease I have. And like playing wheelchair soccer gives me freedom. Like when I have pain when I'm out there playing, it's kind of hard to play, but I rub like pain cream on it to help with the pain that I feel to like so I can drive my chair around, not be worried about how my arms feel when I'm out there competing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I understand. Um, what do you want others? What do you want others to know about Duchenne? Like if you could make them understand one thing, what would that one thing be?
That's a terrible disease that just wastes your muscles and it's just frustrating that has to be that way. But that's why I found you to try and push a cure that is much needed because it's not fun living with a disease that causes you pain and like takes stuff away. It's just frustrating that we need to find a cure for this. And boys need to stop suffering from this horrible disease. And yeah.
I completely agree. Completely agree. Um, Speaking of that, right? How does Destroy Duchenne make you feel?
Well, you're the one running in, you have Duchenne, and it makes me feel like you're motivated to help push this forward. And I'm motivated to help you whatever any way I can. Like doing this podcast is helping you. And it's like I want to help you because I don't like this disease. I want it cured. It's horrible disease.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, and I appreciate your help for sure. This is a massive help, and I think that sharing
Yeah.
stories is a really. I mean, I think that I really believe this, right? I really believe that by people sharing their suffering. Um, I want to word this the right way. I believe that people sharing their suffering really does change the world. Like I believe that you sharing your story right now, people are gonna go, wow, okay, I can relate to that. I understand the disease more. I see the horrific things it does. You're truly changing the world with your story.
Yeah. That's what I want to do. Like the more words we get out here, like and share the world, like they're gonna know more about this shit and want to help with finding a cure for it and stuff like that.
Yep, 100%. Okay. I think we kind of covered it all. Oh no, one more question. Do you think Duchenne has made you a better person?
Yeah, I think it has, and like I've lived with it, so I don't know any other way. So, and I'm just used to dealing with challenges and obstacles, and like I feel that has made me a better person because it's like not everybody deals with a challenge every day. Like I have to conquer it each day to like get through the day and experience joy. And I feel it has made me a better person.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Adversity strengthens your character. All right. Um, any other thoughts or comments or anything else that you want to talk about before we end?
I don't think so. It was great having me here, and like it was fun sharing my story with you and whoever's gonna listen to this podcast. And just makes me feel warm and humbled to have this opportunity with you.
Oh, no, I feel the same way. I'm honored
Yeah.
to have you on. And I think everybody listening is honored to have heard your story. I really do believe that. I want to have you on again in the future. I'm thinking of having, doing like you, another person, and another person with Duchenne, like 3 people at once. And I think that'd be really cool. So I don't know if you'd be interested in doing that, but I think it'd be cool to have you on again. And just do like a part 2, just talk more, catch up.
I would love to be on talk with you again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you know how we end the podcast, right? We say, complete the cure. So we're going to go ahead and end this podcast right now. So on a 3, 2, 1, we're both going to say complete the cure. All right. All right. 3, 2, 1, complete the cure. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Destroy Duchenne podcast. This has been by Stacy with Brett. If you want to learn more about Destroy Duchenne, go to destroyduchenne.org. You can go to Destroy Duchenne on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those good places. And you can catch up, stay up to date with us, see what we're all about. But yeah, we're trying to complete the cure for this terrible disease, advance medicine forward, and just do good for the world. So thank you, everybody, for listening. This has been the Destroy Duchenne podcast.